GIK Acoustics makes high-performance acoustic treatments for improving the quality of sound within a space. From studios to listening rooms to cafeterias, GIK treats thousands of rooms every single year with the help of our designers. Every single room has its quirks and difficulties, but our designers are great at finding the best solutions for any space. One of the tools we use to do that is the free acoustic advice forum featured on our GIK website. It was created to help you get details of your room over to our team of designers so that they have a better idea of how to treat your space. Today we're going to be sitting down with one of our designers, James, so that you can learn more about the process. James got into audio at a very young age and discovered acoustics as a musician in his pursuit for better recordings. He has over a decade of experience in the acoustics industry, and he's written many of the educational articles featured on the GIK website. James, thanks for sitting down with me today.
Thanks for having me.
So what do you like most about working with GIK Acoustics?
You know, the people that are contacting us are doing stuff that I love to do. They're writing and recording music, or they're listening to music, or, you know, they're trying to make their performance, you know, whether it's like a theater or like a church choir or, you know, anything like that. They just want to make stuff sound better. And I've been on that quest myself for decades.
How useful are the tools on the GIK website?
You know, we talk a lot about, you know, the room submission form on the website. That's really useful. That's always the best starting place because it'll ask you questions about your room, give you a chance to upload pictures of it, of your setup, and just give me a feel for what you're doing in the room, you know. And it's not just a cookie cutter approach, you know. You could have the exact same room and, you know, if you're building a home theater or you're a heavy metal drummer and you need to record metal drums, you know, the advice is going to obviously be different for those two applications. If you can, get me a good drawing, and the GIK visualizer on the website is one good way to do that. You know, you don't have to use that. I mean, I've got people that'll, you know, sketch out hand drawing on graph paper and then take a picture of it on their phone and send that to me. I can work with that. If you want to use the visualizer, that you can get a little more detail oriented at that point, or, you know, sometimes people will send me a SketchUp drawing, you know, whatever you have. That's one tool that's useful because that way I can see like accurate dimensions and layouts, and we can talk about different tweaks and things like that.
Yeah, I really actually like just playing around in the visualizer. You can do a lot of really cool stuff just playing around with the different designs. So what's the best piece of advice you can give someone trying to acoustically treat the room?
GIK has been around for a long time. We've treated, I'm sure, I can't even tell you how many rooms, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands by now. So we know the challenges, you know, we do it really well. The best advice I can give is just do it. Do something. At least change the sound a little bit. And if it doesn't work well, then learn from it and move on and try something different. But you gotta do stuff. You gotta get the treatments into the room and evaluate. You know, correlated to that is trust your ears, listen, and, you know, and of course test too, like we talked about. But, you know, really spend time listening. If you're listening to music, you know, pre-recorded, listen to something that's really well recorded, that's very familiar to you, like your all-time favorite album or something like that you know backwards and forwards. You know, it's got really good sound. It was mastered by a top engineer, and you can trust it. And when your room is right, you'll hear it, and you'll start to hear balances. And like, you know, I'll never forget that the first time I treated a room for listening, I listened to my all-time favorite record, and I actually heard a part in the record that I'd never heard before after more than a decade of listening to this record. It was like, oh, wait, I hear that little, I can't remember what it was, a flute or something in the background. You know, so things like that, you know, just always listen and evaluate that way. But, you know, the short answer is contact GIK.
Thank you, James, for sitting down with us today. If you, the listener, have any questions about GIK Acoustics or just acoustics in general, visit us on our website where you can find tons of useful tools, articles, and videos that can get your space sounding great.